Welcome to the Western EasyGo Regional Update. All right, let's get started. We did close February on a high note, and I'm not sure if it was due to the extra day or a shift in momentum. Regardless, we had a solid month, and Q1 is shaping up nicely across the region. Leading the way for February was A1 Golf Cars in Arizona, followed by Poli. Caddyshack finished third, and Coyote Golf Cars were not too far behind. We had a five-way tie for fifth with Pacific Golf and Turf, RMT Equipment, Golf Cars and More, Prestige Golf Cars, and I-5 Motorsports. Well done to our top dealers. And to all the dealers in the region, thank you for your continuing drive and push to be the best dealers in the U.S. Only one real product update for you this month. All new RXVs, which I'm sure some of you have seen, will be coming down the line with the new digital display from the Express line. They will continue to roll down the line this way until we release the new Smart Gauge, which should be Q3. Fingers crossed. We will also be rolling out an updated Easy Connect that will give you some better visibility around your inventory, open orders, and retail numbers. More to come on this later. I got to tell you, though, I've seen it. We've started testing it. This is going to be a game changer for you. It really is. I'm very, very excited about it, and I'm sure we'll talk more as we get closer to launching this out to everybody. This month, I'd like to talk about a couple of different topics. Let's start with yes and selling. The premise of this is fairly simple, but it goes a long way when we think of the psychology of the sale. A simple change of a word can really make a difference. We can go from a defensive debate to an intelligent, supportive conversation. What do I mean by that? Let's use this as an example. You have a potential customer on the showroom floor who's very interested in RXV. He says, I like this car, but it's a little expensive. Now, you have a choice on how you can navigate this conversation. You can say, yes, but these cars are made in Augusta. Right? This is more of a defensive statement. It is not necessarily inclusive or supportive. It's almost like you're against the customer or argumentative, maybe even. So instead of yes, but, let's try yes and. So same scenario. I really like this car, but it's expensive. Your reply could be yes. And did you know that EasyGo has a partnership with Samsung, and together they have created the safest and longest lasting battery pack on the market? Or yes. And I understand that you're on a budget, so why don't we sit down and take a look at the numbers and see if we can find a number that works for you? Keeping the conversation positive and supportive and not defensive is just one way that we can close deals and continue to move the metal. Look, yes and is not a new concept by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, this was something that I picked up in my improv days. To keep the conversation going, you want to use yes and then build on that. Obviously, that was focused on humor, but it's also applicable here. In fact, this strategy is right in line with question-based selling, which is something that we touched on before. Some of the best professionals that I've ever met use these tools. Some of them do it just kind of naturally. Some have trained, but it all sounds natural. And I'm sure that all of you do this in some way, shape, or form. The key here, I think, is understanding the why and the psychology behind it. QBS is a great tool, helps you understand the customer's needs and points you in the direction of a solution, which you can present to them and close the deal, right? Which is a great and invaluable tool, and we'll touch on that as more throughout the year. Yes, and helps keep the conversation flowing and positions you not only as the authority but as an ally. I think it's easy to be defensive when selling, but I would challenge you and your sales reps to really try and take it to the next level. All right. We talked earlier this year about culture, kind of the theme of this year, and is kind of my goal, I think. And a great quote that I heard was, culture runs your business in your absence, right? And as we go through this year, we'll add some other concepts around this thought. But again, keep in mind, this is a recreational business. I mean, we're supposed to be having fun, right? We're supposed to be making a great experience for these customers that are coming in the door. This month, I kind of want to talk about appearance, which ties into all of this. What is a story that your dealership is telling when your customers walk in? All right, think about a time when you walked into a restaurant that maybe somebody talked you into going to, and it was a little dirty, maybe a little bit dingy. Were you excited to eat there? Look, some greasy spoons and some of these hole in the wall joints aren't really that bad. I kind of like some of them, but I feel like you're always taking a little bit of a risk in those types of places. You know the food's going to be cheap, you know what the experience is going to be like. What I would encourage all of you to do is do a 360-degree walk around your building with a notepad. Take some notes. Take some notes on the appearance, keeping in mind that this is what your customer sees. Is your signage outdated or cracked or fading or all of the above? Are the vehicles on your showroom floor dusty? Are there piles of boxes stacked up from the UPS shipment that you received 3 days ago? Customers don't want to see these things, and they do notice. Nothing screams discount like an old sign and a messy showroom. And overall, I think we as a region did a great job in elevating our individual dealer brands. But this wasn't a one-time thing, right? With the scorecard introduction, that was kind of the goal. But we need to keep pushing and driving to assure we're providing an experience that no other dealership can provide. Take a field trip and go see some of your competitive dealers, or even some neighboring dealers that sell the same product. And are they providing a better or worse presentation than you are? Again, put yourself in the customer's shoes while you're walking around or looking around. What are some of these things that you notice? Are they things that you're doing better or you're doing worse? I encourage each of you to go out there and do this and take an honest look around. If you think you have the best looking dealership, go to a Harley David dealership and see how you stack up compared to that. Uh, I just want you to be hypercritical of not only your dealership, but the competition as well. And then come back with your list and start prioritizing some of the things and changes that you want to implement. I firmly believe that we are in a time where these little things matter and will set your dealership apart, resulting in more sales and ultimately greater revenue. All right, let's not forget about the sales triangle. I think this is an important concept in building trust with the customer. Knowing that they have a guy that will help them, that knows them, and is attentive to their needs really goes a long way. Not only in the time of sale, but I think post-sale as well. It's important that we make sure that the customer knows who their parts person is or the service manager. It makes the dealership feel more like family, more like home, right? For some of you, it may just be one person wearing all of those hats, and that's fine. But giving that extra attention will go a long way in customer retention and referrals. Okay, March is already shaping up to be a huge month in the region. Let's not forget about the Good to Go savings event, and let's make sure that you're all promoting that. We have some great assets on PromoBox that you can utilize. I have seen a pretty good increase in usage on PromoBox, so thank you to everybody that participates in that. If you still have questions around it, feel free to reach out, and we can get you connected with the right people if I can't guide you in the right way. All right, that's it for me. Please feel free to reach out with any questions or suggestions that you potentially would like to see on this update. And I want to leave you guys with one last thought. I heard another great quote the other day that I wanted to share with you. Built to last longer than the drive home. We're in a competitive marketplace right now, and we know that the E-Z-GO brand and our product is better than everything that's out there. But think about that statement just for 1 second. Steal it, use it, whatever it may be when you're in some of those competitive talks. Built to last longer than the drive home. All right, y'all. We'll see you soon.